In this video, I'll show you the exact business model that I use to make almost $20,000 to $30,000 every single month. Okay, and this business model, it is very hot right now. The demand is crazy, and in this video, I'll cover who to sell to, what the problem is, what the solution is, and how to get clients. Okay, so starting number one with the target market. So who we are selling to is local businesses. Local businesses such as dentists, car dealerships, even car, repair shops, real estate agents, HVAC companies, barbers, med spas, hair salons. There's so many, any local business basically that takes appointments, we can sell this to. Okay, so the problem we're solving for them is very simple. Okay, we're solving one specific problem. And before I go into this, we're solving one specific problem for one specific business with one specific solution. Okay, the more niche it is, the better it is to make money, or the more specific, not niche, sorry, the more specific it is, the easier it is to make money with it. Okay, because you can just copy and paste it. So the problem we're solving is simple. There is even a study backing this up, but you probably already know this. Last time you called your local, I don't know, barber, car dealership, gym, real estate, whatever, right? They use fucking years to pick up the phone. They use a lot of time to pick up the phone. And even if they pick up, it's like, and yes, most of the time they don't even pick up, right? So this is what this study even highlights, right? 411 local study. So this study monitored inbound calls to 85 small to medium US businesses across 58 different industries over 30 days. Okay, so what it found out was that only 37.8% of the calls were answered by a human. Another 37.8% of calls went directly to voicemail, and then a whole 24.3% of the calls were missed entirely. No voicemail left either. So basically what this shows us is that 62% of the calls in total are not being answered. Only 38% are. And even though these call gets answered, they get answered so late that they even lose leads here, because leads call, right? When you call a business, you become a lead, right? You're interested in the service. But sometimes, even though they pick up, but they use like fucking 5 minutes to pick up, they are not going to, the customers can go cold, right? For example, me, last week, I was going to get the interior of my car cleaned, right? So I was calling these detailers, and it was Friday, right? I was called, the first one didn't pick up, second one didn't pick up, third one. They called for fucking 10 minutes or something. Still no one picked up. I called the fourth one, they picked up like this, and boom, they got me as a customer. I paid them money. Why did I go with them? Not because they're the best, not because the one I went with was even, further away and more expensive. But the thing was that they picked up the phone like this, and that made me just go to them. And then the other ones called back, and they were apologizing for not picking up, and they were busy and all of that. So it is very clear that local businesses are losing out on leads. We don't even need the study. You can test it out yourself. But the study confirms it, and when we're going to sell this solution to business owners, it's going to be easier to convince them. But basically what this means is that they're losing out on leads. Just like I, called and they didn't pick up, and I went to the next business. That means they're losing out on money, right? Just like I called, they didn't pick up, they lost me as a lead, which means they lost money or they lost revenue, right? So this is the problem that we're going to solve. How we're going to solve this problem? Simple. AI receptionist, okay? For people who don't know what AI receptionist is, it basically, it's new, right? Probably a lot of people don't know, business owners don't know, right? The people I sell it to, they have probably never heard of it before. But basically, you connect it to their number, or you connect it to a new number. What the AI receptionist does is picks up all the calls like this, because it's a robot, right? It picks up all the calls like this. It answers all the questions that a lead has. I can ask, what kind of appointments do you guys have? What kind of services do you guys offer? What's the opening hours? Okay, I want to book an appointment. How much will it cost? All of that. Everything that we feed it, it will answer. Okay? And then it can also book appointments. So it can access the calendar of the business, and it can book appointments for them. That is fucking crazy and powerful. Okay? That's the solution we're going to sell to them. And building it is not hard. Not hard at all, okay? I'm going to show you how it's built, and then I'm going to show you even a better way on how to actually deliver this to the client, okay? So just stick to this. Look, basically how it's built is, first of all, we need a brain, right? So for the AI to actually talk and know what to say, it needs a brain, right? So for the brain, what we're using on the back end is ChatGPT, right? We call this language model. Okay, this isn't hard. I promise you. If you don't understand what language model is, I'm not a fucking geek myself. I'm going to show you how all this works. This is very simple. Language model. You know, when you chat with ChatGPT and it replies to you back, it is because it has a brain. So we're going to snatch ChatGPT's brain, but we're going to customize it. We're not just going to, because then if someone calls, you know, it's not specific to the business if it's just using ChatGPT on the back end. But we're also using the company's website and limiting the language model and limiting the brain to only the website or only the information that we feed it, right? So when we call it, it can't answer how many, because if you chat with ChatGPT, it can tell you fucking anything, you know, it can tell you how many years ago World War II was, or, you know, how to calculate this or that. But we're going to limit this to only, so it can only answer questions about the business that we're creating this for, right? So if there's a dental clinic, we'll connect it to their dental clinic's website. So we'll pull information from the dental clinic's website and then only answer that. Or even better, we create like a full knowledge base, a full document on Google Docs about every information that we need from the company, opening hours, who the doctors are, the pricing, all of that. Then we feed it to the AI, and then it only responds with that. Okay, so that's the most beautiful part about it. That's the brain behind it. Now, with the brain, it's a receptionist, so it needs to speak. I use something called 11 Labs. Okay, it is basically a text-to-speech. Very simple. You can go to 11 Labs. You can even create AI agents inside of 11 Labs now, but simple. You have a brain, and then you have a voice. And then now, okay, cool, you have a brain and you have a voice. Now, for it to be able to book appointments, it needs to connect to the CRM of the business. CRM means customer relationship manager. I don't even fucking know what it means, and I'm still making 30K a month with it, right? But it's something like that. Customer relationship management or manager or whatever. But basically, it's a dashboard. Okay, it's the back end where it it has the calendar, open appointments. You know, every business has a dashboard behind it where they store information, right? So that's what we're going to connect it to. Okay, simple. And then it can create appointments for you on the calendar or on the calendar of the business, right? So you can actually go in. So if I call a business who has this AI receptionist that we built, and I say like, okay, do you have, you know, something available on Sunday 30th or you know, 6th of I don't know what, February 2022. I don't need to say 6th of February 2022, but I can say. They ask like, okay, what time do you want to book appointment? I'm like, I don't know, 6th, you know, or Sunday next week or 6th of February. And it can actually go inside of the calendar, check if there is availability and get back to you like, okay, it's going to say to you, okay, I'm going to go and check. And then it comes back to you and it's going to say, okay, you know, we have something available for 6th. Do you want me to book you in? And then it's going to ask you for your name and boom, you got booked in. And now the business can see it on their calendar and it also receive, you know, a confirmation on text. Simple as that, guys. It's very powerful. Simple, simple, simple. Okay? That's how it's built. And now, the better way of doing all of this, because obviously, honestly, I don't have time to sit there and build these AI agents. Yes, you can build AI agents without no-code tools, but still you got to test it and you got to make sure everything is working properly and all of that, and you're going to fix bugs and all of that. You don't have time for that as a business owner, okay? Elon Musk doesn't create his own cars. Steve Jobs, or whoever this Apple CEO is now, don't create their own. You know, they have people doing it for them because they don't have time for that, right? They're CEOs. So that's the same thing we are. We're agency owners. That means we can't sit and do every part of the agency. We take care of the sales and all of that, but then we outsource the development of the AI agent to third world countries. And that is called, this method is called freelance arbitrage. So basically, we find people from Pakistan, Philippines, India, Nigeria, you know, wherever in the world, we find people who can do it better than us and cheaper than us. And the reason they do it cheaper than us is because, for example, in Pakistan, let's say a client pays me $5,000 in America or in the US or in Europe is like $5,000, right? And if we even pay them $1,000 out of that, that's like a fuck ton of money for them in these countries because of the currencies and the difference and all of that and the economic difference and all of that. $1,000 is $1,000 here, but $1,000 in fucking Philippines or India or Thailand or Pakistan, it's like a fuck ton of money. So they're very happy to take on $1,000, okay? So that's basically what we're gonna do. We're gonna go out there, get the clients, right? And I'm gonna show you in a second how to do that. Let's say a client pays us 5K. We then take the 5K, we take 1K out of that, $1,000 out of that, and pay it to our freelancer who is a specialist in building AI receptionists. And then we tell them to create the whole thing, test the whole thing, connect it to their CRM, connect it to their calendar, make sure it's working properly. If any bugs come up later, they fix it, and boom, we deliver it to the client. So we got paid 5K, we paid $1,000 to the developer, and we ended up with $4,000. Simple as that. Very powerful. Now this way we save a lot of time as well, 18, 20 hours on building that we can use on getting more clients, that we can use on doing better marketing, that we can use on other things that can make us more money. And this also makes it scalable as fuck too, because let's say you get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 clients, you can't handle all of them yourself, right? So you have a developer, and this can make it scalable. The more clients you get, boom, add another developer and another developer, another developer. But it is important before you hire a developer that you know the basics of it, right? All of my students because I teach this business model away to my students as well, and they're doing very well. You can check it on my Instagram and all of that. And by the way, if you want to be one of my students, if you want me to help you from scratch on how to create this for yourself, I'll follow up with you, have you one-on-one as my student, help you get your first few clients, 5 to 10K a month. Click the link down below, book a call with me if the form is open. Anyways, yeah. So this makes it scalable too, right? And that's the best way to do it, okay? Now, how do you get clients? Simple. Before I actually go into the clients, let me show you how the AI receptionist sounds. Okay, so I just found a video on it, okay? And this is how it works. This is sped up, and this is how it works when you call it.
Thank you for calling Cool Air Solutions. This is Emma. How can I help you today?
Hey, my air conditioner just broke and it's hot as fuck. I need someone to come and check it out ASAP.
I'm sorry to hear that your AC broke down, especially during the summer heat. I can definitely help you with that. First, could you please provide your full name, property address, and phone number so I can book an appointment for you? Thank you, Haroon. I have your information. Just to confirm, your email is haroon@gmail.com. And
Basically, I cut out the part where I said the email and the name and all of
the
that.
property address is 32 Texas Street. Given that this is an emergency, I'll prioritize getting someone to your place as soon as possible. What's your preferred date and time for a technician to come out? Okay, Haroon, I have your name, address, email, and phone number. You need AC repair and it's an emergency. I'll book you for the earliest available time slot. Please hold while I check our technician's availability. I'm looking at the schedule now. The earliest we can get a technician to your property at 32 Texas Street for AC repair is tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Would that work for you?
Yeah, okay. Book me in.
Excellent. So, to confirm, I have you booked for AC repair.
Boom, basically book me in, ask for my name, put it in that side of the CRM, the calendar, and send me confirmations and reminders, okay? So that's how it works. Now, how do you get clients for this? Simple, okay? There is a way to do it short term, and there's a way to do it long term, okay? You should absolutely do both. This is more for like if you want to get your first few clients, and this is more for like if you want to stay in the game for 10 plus years and actually charge a lot of higher prices and etc. I'm gonna save this for another video, like in the depth of it, but I'm gonna go through this like quickly, okay? Give you guys an overview. So the short-term way is cold calling and door-to-door sales. And the reason this works very well, cold calling, I wouldn't recommend cold calling if you were doing, for example, marketing agencies or if you're selling short-form content or video editing services, because there's so much fucking competition. When you cold call, you're just like everyone else. So it's hard to get clients, right? And these businesses get fucking 10,000 cold calls every single day, someone trying to sell them Facebook ads or Google SEO or whatever, right? But since this is new and the cold calling is new, sorry, not cold calling, but AI receptionist is new, the business model is new, people haven't heard about it before, they're more open to hear, okay? And the thing I'm about to show you, the method, is very effective. So first of all, cold calling and door-to-door sale. They're very similar. There's just one difference I'm going to show you guys. So cold calling, you're going to call businesses. Door-to-door sales, you're going to walk into businesses and then pitch them on it. So basically, call local businesses or walk into local businesses and tell them how you called and no one actually picked up. Tell them like, hey, whatever, hey Mark, whatever. I actually called yesterday or 2 days ago, but no one picked up. And tell them that this is the problem you solve with AI, and tell them like don't the call is not going to be long at all, 90 seconds maximum. You're not going to sit there and pitch your whole thing and all of that. Okay, what you're going to do is you're going to tell them how you called, and then that you can solve this problem that no one is picking up and you guys are losing customers. And before you even start pitching them all of this and all of that and this can do that, just tell them like, okay, I made a demo for you guys for an AI receptionist that can pick up the phone, answer calls, and I can install it into your business. Where should I send the free demo? You can check it out, and then you can just say to them, be a fucking cocky guy, Tell them like, where I created the demo, it's good, I know you're gonna like it. Where should I send it? Because if I send it, I know you'll get back to me, right? Don't be like, yeah, book a call with me. They're gonna book a call with you. Don't worry about that, okay? So ask them where you should send it. Send the demo with a call link, okay? When you send the demo, record yourself on, when you create the demo, record yourself talking to it, and then ask them like, okay, where should I send it? Then you send it, and then you also send it with the link to book a call with you, and on the call you sell them and pitch them, and basically sign them as a client or try, right? Simple as that. What most people do wrong when it comes to cold calling is that instead of offering a free demo, they start offering a call, okay? And that is one of the biggest mistakes someone makes when it comes to cold calling. That it's offering a call. This is the first time you're calling a business. Imagine you put yourself in their shoes. You are a business owner, you're busy as fuck, you barely have time to take a shit, you barely have time for your family, you barely have time to eat, you're busy, you're stressed out. And then some kid calls you and try and pitches you something, and they're like, yeah, the next step is let's hop on a 30-minute call. Yes, you can probably get some people on a call, but first of all, it's going to be hard as fuck, because why the fuck would they hop on a call with you? They don't know you, they have no trust to you. Second of all, most of the time they're not going to show up. Third of all, they're not going to buy. And fourth of all, they're not warm enough to hop on a call. With the free demo, you're leading with value. So what you're doing is you're telling them basically, let me make my screen bigger. So basically what you're telling them is, I made a free demo for your business. It's completely free. You can check it out, and then you can come back to me. And when they check out the demo and it's personalized for them, because in 11 Labs, for example, when you create the AI receptionist, you can personalize it to their business. You can all you got to do is just put their name, Texas Med Spa, or, I don't know, fucking Chicago, dental clinic, whatever the name is, and you send it to them, talking to it. You just called about no one picking up, and now you tell them that you have a free demo. And when they see the demo, they have so much more trust in you, and they're so much more likely to hop on a call with you. Because when you send the demo, you also say like, oh, if you like it, if you want to discuss further and see if this can be installed into your business, book a call here, here's the link. Simple as that. You lead with value, you show them, you get their trust, you basically get them to like you and your product, and then you book a call with them. They're more likely to show up, they're more likely to buy, they're more interested, and they're more likely to book. That's how you do cold calling. You offer a free demo, and then you pitch in the call. You don't just call them and just try and fucking get them on a call with you, because they don't know you, they don't know what this is about, and they won't show up, okay? Simple as that. Yeah, that's cold calling. For local businesses, when you walk into businesses, it's very simple. The only thing you solve is the only thing you change is, instead of sending them a video, you just, show them live there and then. Like before you walk into the business, you build a demo, then you walk in, and then you show it to them. On 11 Labs, you can make it talk to them. Simple as that. Okay, you don't need to send them the video, and then you can try and pitch in the call right there and then. Instead of saying like, hey, let's hop on a call, let's book a meeting, ask them like, are you free? 20 minutes now, I can show you how it works. Because they're very warm. They just saw the demo, they're very warm, so try and pitch them right there and then. If not, just tell them, okay, here's my calendar, book in, and make them book in on your laptop from your calendar. Simple as that, guys. That's the short-term way. Long-term is building a personal brand and boosting it with ads, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to create content around AI and your niche, which is local businesses, and how this can solve the problem for them. And then you're going to boost it with ads, okay? Simple as that. Now, what this does is, I'm going to break it down quickly. For example, let me give you an example. Nike and regular shoes. There are probably regular shoes. I am a witness of this. I have bought regular shoes before, and some regular shoes are better than Nikes. They're cheaper, they're better, they're easier to wear, they're more comfortable, but I wear Nike shoes always. Why? Because I wear Nike shoes even they are less comfortable. they are more expensive, and they are, less practical, and they break faster, and they're thinner because I live in Norway and it snows here and shit. But the reason I go with Nike, even though they're more expensive and all of that, is because it is a brand that I trust. Okay, branding is so fucking important. Why is Nike one of the biggest shoe sellers right now? Because they have developed their brand. They understand the power of branding. There are so many other better shoes than Nike's, but they don't have a brand, and because of that, they are basically outcompeted by Nike. So brand has so much to fucking say. That is why I said that this will keep you in the game for 10 plus years, building a personal brand around your offer. And what this basically does is builds trust, builds authority. You can charge higher prices, you have higher close rate, you have higher show up rate to the calls because people actually book with you, and you have inbound leads, which is the best thing. You don't have to call, you don't have to work to get leads. You put out pieces of content, you boost it with ads, and leads come directly to you instead of you going to them. And when they come to you, you have more power and they're basically more likely to buy. Okay? That is how the business model works, and that is how to get clients. That is the problem we're solving. This is hot as fuck right now, okay? There's not a lot of people in this space doing it right now. So if you can get into this right now, I promise you'll make a fuck ton of money. I have students, for example, JC, 1 month in, 8K. I have Craig, who joined 2 weeks in, 5.7K. I have Ilham, 3 months in, I think he's doing 14K now. It is simple as that. And that's it. If you want one-on-one help with building and scaling your AI agency to 5 to 10K a month, or even starting it from scratch, click the link down below, book a call with me, and we'll find out if I can help you in the first place. If I can't help you, at least you'll get a game plan that you can implement.